Good morning, Liz.
Morning, Scotty.
Time for Liz and Scotty's Poddy, a Thanksgiving edition. Not just a Thanksgiving, but a hosting of Thanksgiving edition. As we get close to have you ever hosted Thanksgiving, Liz?
No, I'm not going to touch Thanksgiving with a 10-foot pole.
I was going to say, do you have any desire to? But that answers that question. I don't know. This is one of those things that I kind of get into the weeds about because it sounds so simple. Oh, we'll host Thanksgiving this year. And then all of the things that go into it once you realize all of the things that you go into it. I remember the first time I did it was just for me and mom and dad. And this is probably 15, 20 years ago. And I didn't even do turkey and dressing. I did things that I know how to do. I had this small place, but they were going to come up. And I remember, I don't know that I got overwhelmed, but it was very, very close. And that was the first time I had ever had that thought, how in the world did mom, did grandma, did they pull this off for the aunts and uncles and cousins and 40 people that were involved, and just the first time I'd ever looked at it from that angle. And it would just, since then, it has become very interesting to me.
Will offered to host like our Friendsgiving next year, and I looked at him. I was like, we will? Because I feel like that's like the step before Thanksgiving dinner.
Yes.
Right?
Yes.
It's a little easing on in, and that still terrifies me.
Right. There are things that you want to do, but with a Thanksgiving, there are traditions that must be upheld. If you're going to do the family one, there's certain things, you've got to have this dish, or, I don't know. Just a lot of pressure, a lot of stress, it seems to me. Mm-hmm. So we had a discussion about it the other day, and it was a fun day because it kind of carried from the beginning of the day till the end of the day. I did realize something as I was putting it together, too, which may be a little annoying if you listen to one of these podcasts. Because of a morning like this, we talked about it at a bunch of different times, so each time we would kind of set it up.
Oh, okay, yeah.
So when you listen to it in podcast form, you're hearing us say the same things over and over again a lot of times. Just kind of understand that the first time we did that, it was 6:05, and then the next time we did it, it was 7:15, and it's different listeners, and so we're always just trying to keep people up to date with what we're talking about. So if it sounds repetitious, that's why. But anyway, this is kind of how it all got started a couple of mornings ago, thinking about and talking about hosting Thanksgiving. Pretty sky this morning, and we are 1 week away from Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. As you prepare for Thanksgiving, whether you're traveling or if you are the host of Thanksgiving. Mm-hmm. And I think about the folks who do it year after year. You think about your grandparents or whatever and how they used to pull it off. And when you're a kid, it seems so easy. And then you try to do it yourself one time, and you're like, how in the world did mom, did grandma, how did they do this every year? They made it look and feel so easy.
Yeah.
And once you do it yourself, you realize it's not easy at all. We thought it might be kind of fun. In fact, if there is someone listening this morning that is hosting Thanksgiving for the family, it doesn't have to be for 60 people or anything. It could be, just more than your normal family. Like, say you got 4, 6, 8 people coming over for the first time. We thought it might be fun. If you want to text us this morning, we thought it might be fun to have somebody like this and just kind of check in with them. Every day, kind of, okay, how's your anxiety level? What did you prepare today? Mm-hmm. What did you get ready? So if that sounds like you and you wanted to do that, just text it to us. And we're not out to embarrass you or anything. We just thought that might be kind of a fun thing to check in on every morning.
Yes, almost like a little diary.
Exactly. So if that's you and you wouldn't mind sharing with us a little, and we won't take up a lot of your time either. Maybe just a quick phone call each morning, something like that. But just text to us, 800-455-KCLR. And we're talking about first-time hosting and all that goes along with that. How about you? You ever been a first-time host of Thanksgiving?
Oh, yeah. Yeah, a few years ago, my wife and I did that 5, 6 years ago now.
Okay, so how'd it turn out? Good, bad, middle?
Well, you know what? We were definitely kind of stressed about, the meal and getting all that taken care of leading up to it. And you know what? All of that actually went really good. But it was our first time hosting, and we had a really small little house we were living in at the time. And we really just didn't think out very well where exactly we were going to put everyone. So it was like, people started showing up, and then it was just like, oh, it's starting to get a little crowded in here. And then we were like, oh no, we might not have enough chairs or enough seats to like put everybody. So that was kind of interesting. We had, some people, sitting on the floor,
That's
crisscross
funny.
applesauce.
Yeah.
And I can see that too. Your focus is so much on the food and the turkey. I can see that slip in your mind. You're thinking, oh crap, we need chairs.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. It was really important to us to like get the meal really, just do that really good, and we did. But yeah, we didn't think out the spacing very well, like at all.
That's funny. Yeah. Don't forget the chairs. If you're a first timer, anybody else want to share about your first time hosting Thanksgiving? We'd love to hear. You can call or text 800-455-KCLR. 1 week away from Thanksgiving, we're talking about those of you who will be preparing Thanksgiving for family, for friends. We've talked about people doing it for the first time and the ones who've been doing it forever. Looking back, watching your mom, your grandma, whoever did it, and it just seemed so easy, and then you try it yourself and you realize it's not easy. And just the timeline, I almost think probably a lot of, think about grandma's, it's on her head. It's not written down anywhere. But I'm almost like, you need a schedule because you cannot wait till the last minute, right?
I have learned from stressful experiences to start getting stuff a couple weeks early, like buy a few things at a time. But I definitely had a couple Thanksgivings where I got everything like the day before, and it was a nightmare.
We were thinking this weekend might be a great time to get to the grocery store and do all of that stuff because, next week, every day, especially if you wait till Wednesday, which I have done before, and that's just madness. But maybe this weekend, at least, you ought to at least start knocking some things off your list, right?
Oh, yeah. No, I've already got some of the stuff, but there's definitely some more stuff I should knock off for sure.
Do you start anything specific, or do you just start getting the ingredients all together?
There's like certain things that I know are going to sell out. So like cans of green beans and like things that aren't going to go bad that I can get a couple weeks early, I always get. But like things that I get definitely before Wednesday are like the turkey, anything like that everyone's buying.
Right. And if you do have a list, it would be interesting to see your list. If you want to send us your list, just your daily schedule of what you need to have this done by now, it might be fun to look at. Again, we're not trying to be nosy. I just find it very interesting. 1 week away from Thanksgiving, we're talking about hosting Thanksgiving. If you are a longtime expert at it or if you are a first-timer, and we're getting great examples of both. The Kayla called this morning. Apparently, this is pretty good. All right, Kayla, we're ready. Go ahead.
So we bought my grandparents' house on their farm, and we were hosting the very first Thanksgiving ever. Me and my husband were newly married, and me and my family do not have things planned out. So everybody makes things at the house when they got there. My sister had been talking about a sweet potato pie forever, which I don't know why, because nobody in the family really wanted a sweet potato pie.
Right.
But she was super excited to make it. So she's whipping it up in the kitchen, and we're like, okay. And then all of a sudden, she opens the oven, and flames are coming out, like big flames.
Oh, no.
And everybody's yelling, just throw water in there. And I'm like, well, don't ruin our oven. And my sister starts crying and goes, don't ruin the pie. And I'm like, I'm pretty sure the pie's already done for.
Yeah, a little late for that.
She was trying to broil the marshmallows on top.
Oh my God.
And yeah, so that was our very first Thanksgiving in my grandma's house. And I'm sure she was looking down going, this is not how this is supposed to be going.
Right.
We still host it every year since then. So it worked out.
Does your sister still make a sweet potato pie?
She does not. Nobody likes the sweet potato pie. And my 5-year-old has already called her and requested that she makes her macaroni and cheese and great corn that she makes. And she said yes, because both of those can be made in a crock pot.
Exactly.
Yes.
And I'm sure so stressful at the moment, but how great is it that you have that story now to tell? You know, and you all can share it for years to come.
Exactly.
Kayla, thanks for
you.
calling. We really appreciate it.
Of course. Have a good Thanksgiving.
Happy 1 week until Thanksgiving with Liz and Scotty in the morning.
Countdown is on, man, especially if you are hosting Thanksgiving. And we're kind of getting into that a little bit. Just a heads up, we got a text message. We've been texting back and forth this morning with a gentleman. It sounds like he and his wife are newlyweds. It sounds like they volunteered to host Thanksgiving, their first Thanksgiving, and there are going to be 12 people there. We mentioned earlier this morning, if we could find somebody who is in that situation that we could maybe check in with and then continue to check in with between now and Thanksgiving just to see. And I think this is going to work out. So I think probably 30 minutes or so we're going to have a chance to visit. So that might be fun. We might have a storyline that we can follow for the next week or so. But we'll kind of find out his story here in about 30 minutes or so with Liz and Scotty. But we're hearing other good stories today.
Yeah, great hosting stories, including one we just got from Bridget. She said, for about 5 years, I would host Thanksgiving for my whole family. My mom would always bring the ham, but otherwise I made everything. Well, one year I was so excited to cook the turkey in my new electric roaster pan I'd gotten the previous Christmas. I got up early, put the turkey in, and commenced to make all the other sides. Everyone showed up and we started setting out the buffet. I went to go get the turkey and I had realized I'd forgotten to turn the roaster on. Needless to say, I'm so glad my mom had brought a huge ham that year.
That's awesome. I remember one year mom and dad used to always host a Thanksgiving for their Sunday school class. And it was a bunch of people at the house, and Dad would always do a kind of smoke a turkey on the grill. And I don't remember what happened. I was a kid. I remember one year it didn't turn out. I don't know if the fire just wasn't hot enough or whatever. And they ended up calling Domino's Pizza. And it was just, again, such a neat story. We were talking about that with Kayla a while ago. I'm sure at the time Mom and Dad were just mortified, you know. And, of course, the people in the class didn't care, you know.
Right.
They were like, and it ends up being a fun story because they're sitting there eating pizza for Thanksgiving, you know? All right, so we've been talking about Thanksgiving, 1 week away from Thanksgiving. We've been talking about hosting Thanksgiving and, in particular, hosting Thanksgiving for the first time. And we thought about maybe trying to find somebody who was doing it for the first time and maybe talk to him about it this morning. And we've got a guy named Dave, I think.
Hello?
Hi, is this Dave?
Yes.
Hey, Dave, it's Liz and Scotty at Clear 99. How are you this morning?
I'm great. How are you guys doing?
Good. Understand you are going to be hosting your very first Thanksgiving this year.
We are. My wife and I decided we just got married this summer. We moved into a new house, so let's go ahead and bring the whole family over for our first Thanksgiving.
Oh, man.
Okay.
New house and everything. Is the house ready for multiple people to be in there?
Well, we think so, but after everyone leaves, I'll let you know if it actually worked or not. But I think we'll be ready.
Okay. Did anybody try to talk you out of it?
No, nobody did. It was one of those things, just brought it up. My wife and I were talking about it, and then we started talking to family, and everybody was all in. So there was no argument, no disagreement. It was perfect.
So who all is coming to your Thanksgiving then?
So we've got my mom, my in-laws, my father-in-law, mother-in-law, and grandma, my sister and her husband, and then my two nieces, and then my one niece is married with a baby, less than 1 year old. So we'll have everyone in there. So I think if we count it all, it's going to be 12 people.
All right. How much have you gotten into the cooking aspect of all this? Are you divvying it up? Are you and your wife handling that? How's that going to work?
Well, my wife and I are going to take care of about half of it. We got, of course, went out and bought the turkey after we heard about all the turkey shortage and all the big prices and stuff. So
right.
the turkey's purchased, ready to go, and then we're going to supply about half, and then everyone else is just kind of chipping in, and we're knocking it out together as a team.
Do you guys, you and your wife, do you cook a lot? I mean, is this something you have some experience with, just maybe haven't hosted before? Or?
Yeah. I mean, we cook pretty much every night in the house, and, you know, we do pretty much everything, but, you know, it's just not normal to have big events like this. But we just thought, hey, Thanksgiving, new house, newlyweds, perfect opportunity. Let's go in big and let's see what happens.
Okay, how are we doing the turkey? We roasting, frying? What's the deal there?
It's going to be roasted. I got a roaster pan, got it all cleaned up, and it's ready to go. So, we'll get. The plan is to put that turkey in there and then sit down and watch some football while it's roasted.
All right.
Man, it sounds like you guys have a good game plan going.
Yeah, I think so. I think it's going to be good, and we're looking forward to it. My mom's coming in this weekend, and then everyone else will be showing up Thanksgiving morning. So I think we're ready to go. As long as we don't run into some kink between now and then, I think we'll be all right.
I was going to say, Dave, you sound very calm to me. And maybe that's just because we're a week out. I don't know, but
I think we've got a pretty good plan in place. I feel pretty good about that.
Okay. Well, how about this? Would you mind if we maybe check in with you a few more times between now and Thanksgiving just to kind of get an update, see how things are going?
Yeah, go ahead. That's fine with me. I'll let you know if things are still going great or if the cart fell off the track somewhere.
Okay. All right. Well, Dave, hang on a minute. We'll work that out. But there you go. I think the key phrase there might have been right there towards the end of the call. Said, yeah, we're ready to go. And unless something happens between now and Thursday.
Something always happens.
I was going to say, that seems to be the giant caveat to a perfect Thanksgiving. But just glad that they were willing to visit with us. So between now and Thanksgiving Day, we'll just check in with Dave and his wife and see how things are going there. 1 week away from Thanksgiving. We've been talking this morning about hosting Thanksgiving and hosting Thanksgiving for the first time. And a nice lady named Kayla called, and it sounded like a nice, warm story. She and her husband bought, it sounds like their grandparents' old farmhouse that was on like the family property, and thought, you know what, it's fitting. Let's host for the first time. So they did. And apparently Kayla's sister wanted to make a sweet potato pie. And she was very excited about this pie and very excited to make it. At some point, they opened up the oven doors and the pie was on fire. And that led to a little bit of drama. People were just wanting to, just start throwing water or whatever in the oven. And Kayla was like, hey, that's my oven. And the sister was like, hey, that's my pie. Didn't want to ruin her sweet potato pie, which, as Kayla said, at that point, we were pretty sure that it was already gone. But anyway, it was a very heartwarming story. All is well that ends well. It turned out well. So that was a little earlier this morning. And then just a few minutes ago, the phone rang and we said, good morning, Clear 99.
Yeah, hi. My name's Julie, and I was calling because my sister Kayla is the one that called about my sweet potato pie earlier.
Oh, no way.
Are you calling to defend yourself, Julie?
Well, a little bit, but I was so proud of it. And then I remember I whipped open the oven like who's ready to see the best sweet potato pie, and flames were coming out.
Oh, I can imagine your heart just dropped through the floor.
Oh, gosh, it was. It was defeating. But anyways, I heard that and I went, oh, that's me.
Hey, I heard you have a great macaroni and cheese, though.
I do. I got it from a friend, so I can't get credit. But yeah, I do have a great macaroni and cheese recipe and cheesy corn. So everybody requests my cheesy corn now. So I've redeemed myself. But I was like so proud and like, oh. And then my mom, God love my mom and dad, they're trying to scrape off the burnt part and still eat it like it'll be fine.
Yeah, exactly. Just like a mom and dad are supposed to do, right?
Yep. So anyways, I just had to throw that in there.
Hey, listen, if you ever get the itch to do another sweet potato pie and nobody in your family wants to eat it, Liz and I will take a bite, okay?
All right, sounds good. Thank you, guys.
Have a great day.
You too. Bye-bye.
That's not the first time that has happened, where we would talk about something on the air with a caller and it involved other people, and then one of the other people would call because they heard us talking about it. And from time to time, whenever someone will call and we'll have a little fun, like, she was talking about her sister's pie. It's not unlike me to get in there and kind of push the buttons a little bit to try to, talk a little trash. And then I think, I wonder if I've ever gotten any fights started amongst family. I didn't no one ever mean to, but
it is good that she mentioned that her sister does make good mac and cheese and corn.
That's right.
At least it eases the blow a little bit.
It did seem like Julie was in on the joke too,
yes,
about never making a sweet potato pie again. But anyway, that was just a fun morning that we wanted to share with you. By all means, we hope that you have a wonderful Thanksgiving, whether you're hosting or whether you're going to do like the rest of us and just leech off somebody else. We hope that you spend some time with friends and family, whoever it is that you want to spend time with, and and have a wonderful Thanksgiving. And we appreciate you listening to Clear 99 anytime you can. Listening to the radio is one thing, but you know what? It takes a little effort to search out this podcast and listen to it, and we really appreciate you doing that.
It should be simple to find, too, if you want to listen more. Just search for Clear 99 on demand wherever you get your podcast, or you can head to clear99.com and click on that podcast section, and it should all be right there.
On behalf of Liz and Scotty and Moberly Dave and Kayla and Julie and everybody else, guys, have a great Thanksgiving, and thanks for all you do to spend some time with today's best country, Clear 99.
It's a Clear Country Morning.
All right, Jack, need you to give us an occupation in which you might wear a hat.
How about a farmer wears a hat?
Well, yeah, farmers wear hats, don't they?
Yes.
Show us the American farmer. Yes, Jack.
Woo!
That is answer number 6. Keep going.
All right. Let me look here. How about a Pope wears a hat?
So right.
Yes, he does. The Pope wears a hat. That one, you caught me by surprise with that one, Jack. I wasn't expecting that one. All right. Show it to us. His Holiness, the Pope. No.
Oh, no.
No. But I tell you, that's a great answer, Jack, and you just brought a smile to a lot of faces. So thanks for playing with us.
You're welcome. Bye.
It's a Clear Country Morning.